Yeah. So yeah, I think this is interesting and it seems cool. It is the history of Bruce Springsteen's music, and so yeah. So this visualization is categorized by each of his albums. And on the right column, you can see first a brief description of Bruce Springsteen and the names of his albums. And if you hold the mouse on each of these album names, you can see that that specific album is being highlighted. And so there are two main axes here. The first one is the popularity of the album and its songs. This is the database that they used was, they used Spotify's data. So this axis is the popularity of the album and songs, and this one is the sales rank of the album in the US. So the popularity of the albums is here. For example, the first album, Greetings from AP, you can see that the year, and if you go through the songs, you can see that there are brief descriptions of the songs, and you can see the features of it, the level of popularity, acoustic, the level of dance, energy level, and balance level. And this repeats for all of his songs in all of his albums. And there are also, you can see that there is a full circle here, and a circle with, and this kind of circle here. This shows singles, and this shows songs. And in the end, you can see these green petals. These shows the level of energy and the level of balance of the album overall, and the size of these petals show the number of songs. So, for example, the first album, two of the songs have a low energy and low balance. One song has high energy and low balance, and 6 songs have high energy and high balance. And you can see as we move to higher levels, the saturation is increasing, this color saturation. And overall, in all of his albums, you can see that, for example, Magic album is the least popular based on Spotify. And also his songs are the least popular songs of Bruce Springsteen's. And Born in the USA, especially Dancing in the Dark song, has 100% popularity, and it has 3 songs that is very popular in all of his albums. So the lower axis, as I said before, is the sale rank. So these circles show the rank of each album. For example, the River album was ranked as the 3rd in sales. Or, for example, Darkness on the Edge of Town was ranked 5th. And so one of his albums, you can see, it was Born in the USA, that it was ranked 1st. And also you can see different circles here, different kinds of circles. This full circle shows that this album was not a platinum album. And this 2 circles show that it was a platinum album. And these 3 circles show that it was a multi-platinum album. For example, the Rising one was reached 2 times platinum status. And there you can see a bar here. This bar shows the album duration. So the longer the bar, the longer the album. For example, this seems to be the longest album, which is 83 minutes long. And these pedals here show the band members. Each of these pedals show different names. And there's also a description of that person in the album. So, for example, you can see Danny Federici, I guess. And it shows that what he played accordion, and how many songs he collaborated with Bruce Springsteen in that album. And you can see that it has been highlighted in some of his albums, so it shows that this guy was collaborating with Bruce Springsteen in multiple albums. And yeah, that's the same for other pedals, and there's a brief description of about this, the musicians in each of these pedals. And yeah, I think that's all about this visualization. I think it's interesting.
So how it is made?
Yeah, it was made in Tableau. There's not a lot of description we discussed last night, but yeah, it's cool to learn how he made it so interactively. But yeah, I couldn't find the.
I also think they have the web tool version of Tableau, but not Tableau, to make this. And I think we discussed that.
That maybe it was the.
No, there wasn't the description, I guess.
I remember.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts about how, like, a custom visualization like this might be useful for data, like geodata, or your work?
I hadn't thought about it yet.
Did anybody think about that? Anything?
You can have that, like the happiness ratings that we discussed in one of the classes, and do something like this.
Looking at picture only, person will get happy.
So different countries and the happiness levels.
Yeah. So like, yeah, so any kind of social data maybe that. One thing that I found a little confusing, I think like the top line, the length of it represents like goodness, and the bottom line, the length of it like represents the shorter it is.
Yeah, this one, the shorter is better. This one, the longer is
Used to be a really bad album. Looked like it did really well.
Right.
But not the ranking wise.
No, the ranking was not good.
Maybe a little disconcerting, but I think because of the layout, like it would get to be too tall if goodness was longer on both.
Yeah.
Just a design decision that's a little confusing. Maybe it should be emphasized more in the explanation or something like that. Anybody a Bruce Springsteen fan? When you meet my husband, ask him to tell you about the time he met Bruce Springsteen in a swimming pool in Delhi.
Is in Delhi?
In Delhi.
Oh, nice.
So do you want to just briefly?
Do I have time to? Yeah, and there was another tool that I've been using for my work. It's WQP, water discovery tool. I've been using this for visualizing data and maybe downloading data of water quality parameters, variables. So I think this is I think it's a web-based Shiny tool. So it's the problem was that it's not problem. It's like a database of different. It's combining different databases of water quality variables. So you can write your query here, and so you can choose the location based on place, or if you know the location, you can enter it, or you can define a bounding box. So here I just use this, and you can also choose multiple states here if you want to, and for example, Lake County. And if you want to define it more, you can use date range. I will use date range here because it will be too much data. And today's data. And you can also choose sample media, like I'll choose water. And the characteristic group is like, I will choose nutrient. There are other characteristics like the inorganics variables and so on. And I will leave just the characteristics. And there's also site parameters that you can limit. The site type is like lake or soil, or I can see. Okay, land, lake, well, and so on. And you can also choose the organization, but I just leave it here. And if you know any specific site ID of that location, you can enter it, but you can just leave it like that. And you hit on retrieving the data, and it takes time to show the results, and then it downloads the data.
What's the earliest data that they have? Do you approximately, like you picked 2010s?
Yeah, it depends on the area.
I see.
Yeah. So this might take a while.
Mhm.
And I think that there is a limitation here. It doesn't show more than 200,000 data, I think. It doesn't show it.
And it's, so the sample media, you picked water,
Mhm.
and then it was, like you typed upper and lowercase, is that?
I think it's because of different databases.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure. I mean, there was 2 water in the drop down. I don't know. I think it's because of the different databases. Yeah, this.
And the data format that you're going to get? The data format, is it a CSV? Or?
You can download a CSV. I don't know why it takes so much.
So maybe you should tell them about, because this, did you just browse to the site? Because I thought you had to install the tool locally.
Yeah, if you open that bat file, it opens it on the web.
Then it's creating that server connection. Okay. So she went and downloaded, what's it called?
WQP Data Discovery Tool.
What's the difference between having this tool and just using their website? Because it looked like the same kind of.
What website? Oh,
Downloaded.
yeah, this, it's not that different,
Yeah.
but it gives some kind of visualization to you and some data summary.
She can show you now.
Yeah,
Downloaded.
I'll show you. Yeah, and there's also a check, because it's from different databases, you can also choose what to do with non-detections, and you can also see all data here. So it shows the station and its name, the time of sampling, and what the water quality variable and its value. So you can choose what to do with non-detect data, with duplicates, and so on. And here you can get a summary of data. So if you hit summarize data, it shows you the maximum, minimum, and average, and the number of samples of, for example, ammonia in a specific station. And if you save data here, you get the CSV file. And so here shows the map of all the stations in the area that we chose. And you can further filter the data here, but I won't filter it because I've already chosen what parameters I want. So yeah, these are the parameters. You can filter, you can select or deselect some of these parameters, and then if you submit it, you can get another kind of visualization. So a visualization that I want to show you now works just based on one station, so you should just select one station. So for example, if you click on this station, it shows you the location, its name, and how many samples it has. So if I select this station and go to station summary, we can see a summary of the parameters that I chose. It was nutrients, so it only shows these 4. And it shows the number of samples of this specific station in the period that I chose. And here, I think this is ggplot, I'm not sure. And you can, here you can see all these parameters, variables, the count of the variables, and it shows it in time. So for example, it shows that in the first day of January in 2013, there was no samples, for example. And you can also delete some of these to show it in the visualization here. And there's also the time series of the variables. You can choose up to 3 variables here. This is showing ammonia, inorganic nitrogen, and phosphorus, these visualization, and it all shows the value of each variable in the data it was sampled. And you can, I think it's high chart. I think it's high charter, and you can zoom in to see it better. And you can also download the plot. And if you want to use just one variable, you can do like this, I guess. this is how it works. And yeah, that's all.
Questions? She asked me, this was far too specific. I said, I don't know. People might be interested. Does anybody else, you work with water data? Anybody else work?
Yeah, that's website just shows the map.
It just shows
And
where the stations are.
yeah, where the stations are. It doesn't give any summary of data. Maybe that's.
It does seem to be kind of a trend where people are giving you like kind of a packaged way to explore their data, so you don't have to download it and use your own apps and stuff. So
Cloud-based.
yeah,
For me, I wonder is like they're all different. You know,
There's like consistency, so you have to learn a
Right.
tool every time.
right. So like even like between agencies, you know, like it'd be nice if the
But
government.
this one, I
decided
think,
to-
allows you to get data from different agencies.
Yeah.
Right,
So
yeah.
it is.
Yeah, you can filter
that
that.
direction.
So yeah, these are the organizations that for this particular area. You can filter that here. These two.
I wonder if they have people in house that are making these, or if they